There we go. We got it. All right,
Yeah.
everybody. It is game time. Our first vendor is actually one of the first 5 vendors we've ever had, but we haven't been on our vendor education call. They have some of the highest selling products on all of Shoply to date. You can see them in the top sellers because that is a dynamic part of our website where in the top seller section, if you see in the first 5 products, 1 or 2 of their products because they're selling well. So I'm going to kick it off to one of our best team builders worldwide who brought us this brand. He is the face of this brand and a partner in this brand, but also a fantastic team builder with us. So I'm going to really quick kick it over to Chris Atkinson. He's going to tell you about the brand and bring on the science. And Bennifer, you can just shut your camera off for a little while. You're not going to be up for about 30 minutes if you don't mind. And let's kick it over to you, Mr. Atkinson.
Hey, Nick, thank you so much, man. What a honor and a pleasure to be part of Shoply as a whole. It's just an amazing startup company that is really getting my blood boiling in a really great way. And, so we're just blessed to be here. And obviously we love our products. Your work that has been around now for going on 4 years. We have 5 products and we love them all to death because they actually do what we say they're going to do. Yes, we have the patents to back up what we say. Yes, we have the proprietary ingredients. Yes, there's the case studies. All of that just wraps it all together and makes for a wonderful experience. I'm just going to spend a minute with you just to tell you a little bit. We have a multitude of products. We have a sleep aid, and we like to have fun. Okay, so your slumber party. This is something that doesn't knock you out, but it helps you get to that REM sleep. So if you would take it 30 to 45 minutes before you go to lay down, rest assured that within 1 to 2 days, you're going to notice your REM sleep is increasing. What is that going to do? Maybe let you sleep a little bit less so you have more time for activities during the day, but you're going to wake up feeling rested. Then we have one called Your Energized. There you go, the exact opposite. Let's get rid of that slump in the day. Let's get you ready for your workouts a little bit better. Listen, I love to work out, so I take it about 30 minutes before I hit the gym, and I've been working out great for years now. Maybe guys too, not just the ladies. Maybe you got some of those blemishes, some of those little wrinkles forming. Maybe you've been in the kitchen and nicked yourself with the knife when you meant to hit the chicken. Folks, your illuminating face serum, marvelous results. I mean, we have seen things like go crazy with this. Yes, we get rid of all the blemishes and the fine lines, but we had a lady that was playing with her grandson, fell over on the little mini bike and lost an experience with the gravel and had some road rash. Within 1 week, you literally couldn't tell it had happened. So those stories are just fun to tell. But then what about the lady, the guy, the other lady, and the stories are endless of people losing 50, 60, 80 pounds. And are you ready for this? Without hitting the gym. We're talking Your Zingiburn. That's our second proprietary ingredient. And what it does is it takes the white fat, turns it into brown fat. That's what you and I can use as energy. So now our workouts can even be better. And now you're just watching the fat go away. Craving control to the maximum degree. It's not going to stop you from eating, let's be real, but it will stop some of those late night snacks, some of those midday snacks. So Your Zingiburn is one of the top sellers. But the top is called Your Vitality. That's our staple ingredient. I mean, our staple product. That has the most of our patented ingredient in it. And what it does is, well, instead of me telling you what it does, why don't I turn it over to our medical director so he can tell you how it does what it does. This man has so many degrees and so much background in nutraceuticals that it just still blows my mind. I remember when I first got a hold of this proprietary ingredient, he's the first person I called. I said, you got a week, dig in, do your research, and call me back and tell me what you think. He called me one night at 10:30 at night, talking 100 miles an hour. I finally had to say, whoa, 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 slow it down, talk Texas redneck to me for a minute. He said, Chris, literally speaking, whatever's wrong, we're about to help them. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Barterstop. Make sure you don't unmute yourself, bro.
Great. All right. So clearly you can see me now. Can you
Yes,
hear me?
sir.
Very good. Thanks for having me on. Always a pleasure. Always, excited to talk about these products. And you hit the nail on the head with what you've already spoken about. But I'll never forget that night. I called you after I had dug in and found the research on it. And I remember specifically telling you, I said, Chris, I said, I've never even heard of this proprietary ingredient before. However, with what I'm seeing, you can build an entire company around this one ingredient, which is exactly what you've done. And without getting too much into the science, into the weeds, because I'll lose a lot of people. I would like to just kind of focus on the benefits of this one proprietary ingredient, which is Mito Prime. And so with that, guys, this does so many things, and this is what blew me away. And I'm not even going to list the entire gamut of what this can do. However, the top one that got me the most excited was that it's a very, very powerful anti-inflammatory. And that sounds kind of cool, but what does it mean? Okay, so if you understand chronic illness 100% of the time starts with an inflammatory response. If that inflammatory response continues too long before your body has a chance to mitigate that, it turns into inflammation and chronic disease. So if you can simply reduce an inflammatory response, you're going to often reduce whatever that chronic problem is. Now we can talk about arthritis, bursitis, dermatitis, folliculitis, gastritis. All the itises are basically inflammatory responses to that system or to that organ. So this, proprietary ingredient has been known to actually slow down, halt, and or reverse the inflammatory response to that condition. So it's amazing. And when that inflammation goes down, for those inflammatory conditions that cause pain, well, guess what? If that inflammation goes down, the pain also gets diminished and reduced. My mom's still on the product. She's 91. She just turned 91 a couple weeks ago, and she has bad arthritis in the knees. And when I put her on that, just within a matter of days, she noticed a significant reduction in her arthritic knee pain. So that's just one of the things that it does. It helps with telomere lengthening. And as many of you know, the science shows that those who have the longest telomeres at the end of their life usually live longer than people who don't. So that's a very, very important, thing that I think for us in this wellness industry who are looking to, expand our life, a healthy life. That's pretty meaningful benefit that you get from taking this product every day. It helps reduce and slow down dementia and cognitive decline. It just does so many wonderful things. I told Chris that everybody on the planet should be on this product. How do we get it in their hands, basically? And so that's why he, went the route he did with building this company around that particular proprietary ingredient. You were about to say something, Chris. Did you have a question or comment?
Yeah, I was just going to say, when you were talking about the telomeres and lengthening your life, well, that's one of our patents that we have a patent that says that, well, we actually do that with this ingredient.
100%. And no other ingredient, can do as many things as this one can from anything that I've seen. And I've been pretty hardcore in this industry for the last 10, 11 years. And that's why I got so excited about it, because of all the many things that it does.
Well, John, man, thank you so much for sharing the science behind the magic powder, and we really appreciate all that you've done for us over the years, and we look forward to a great future. And with all that said, Mr. Nick Sarnicola, back to you, my friend.
Thank you,
Hey,
guys.
buddy, I'm going to keep you on with me because I might as well. I'm going to. Actually, let's look at the Q&A and let's keep the doc on here. Chris's skin looks incredible. All right.
Thank you.
We don't have any questions from but if anyone wants to throw a question in there, just as a reminder, now's the time to throw a question in there. And Chris, I might as well have you guide me through the site here, since I got you with me. And if you want to point out anything as we go, the shop, the store.
Yeah, that would be nice if you could, because we've even put together some holiday bundles
There you go.
because we like to, well, we like to give stuff away, you know, so we wanted to crank the price down 20% and put things together just to give people a better way to experience it all. So we did put together 3 bundles.
Look at you. You got a new banner up there, buddy. Good job.
Amen, man. So there you go. The bottom 3 are the 3 bundles that we have. We have one that has it's basically just the all-in bundle. So you're going to get one of everything that we have, and we've really dropped the price. You can get everything for $249. That's just a tremendous savings as opposed to trying to buy everything individually. So we really do like helping people. Obviously, if you look, there's the videos that kind of show, you know, some science behind it all. And so then we have a couple of other bundles that we're doing. One, we call it the Essential Bundle, right? That way you're always gonna get Vitality. And with the Essential Bundle, you're going to get our second proprietary ingredient, which is if you go right there, you go, the Essential Bundle. This way you get the Vitality, you get some better sleep. Folks, that's important no matter what you're trying to do in life. And then, well, maybe you can have some of that Chris skin, like I saw you said from the chat. So, and then we have the Essential, because listen, we know you can Google this stuff too. You know that 78% of people in the USA are listed as obese, and this is one of the best countries. Above us and below us, it's even a higher number. So when you take the Vitality with the Zingiburn, you know, and you mix them together, that's just a better way of helping people. And the motto at our company for years now has always been people helping people. So that's what we're here to do, and we're here to stay.
I dig it. Anything else? Closing thoughts, gentlemen. Let me do one last check into the Q&A again. Boom, more Q&A.
Go ahead, John. You got 20 seconds. Leave us with something powerful.
Chris, I want to tell you how much I appreciate your worth it, and because of your company's products, came and saved me when I was at one of the lowest points of my life. Love, Amy.
Wow.
You got a little testimony in there.
Thank you, Amy. Appreciate that.
Do you ship to Canada?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Do all products contain the proprietary ingredient or just a few? While I'm in here, let's take a look.
The proprietary that John talked about called MitoPrime comes in everything except Zingiburn.
Okay.
Zingiburn
So yes, no, yes,
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 and
yes.
illuminating yes.
Okay.
Zingiburn is its own proprietary ingredient, because we have 2.
Please repeat the name of the company and the product. Well, it's You're Worth It, and here's all the products. Chris's skin looks incredible. Okay, so Chris, you guys are wrapped for today. Thank you guys so much for all of your participation, engagement always. We're going to take this video of this section right here. We're going to put it out on our YouTube. We'll take little pieces and clips that we like. We'll put it up on our social media. We'll also take the full replay, send it back to the whole database. So anything we can do to drive awareness, drive sales for you guys, we appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks,
All
Shopley.
right. Welcome. Okay, let's jump over to a first timer, brand new vendor. Just got a chance to meet this individual just a few moments ago. So excited to have him share. He has a product that I think I might use by the end of the night. So I'm working on the first part of that product. So there's like a cause and effect. So I'm working on the cause, Bill. You're going to tell everyone about the effect. I know you've got huge clients, including the U.S. military as one of your clients. I know you've created something that's absolutely fascinating that everybody who has kids definitely need, or anyone that drinks wine definitely needs. So I'm going to, let me ask you a question. Bill, is Yvette with you, or is Yvette not with your company?
Yvette is actually the person that affiliated me.
Perfect. So I'm gonna connect Yvette in here for just a second. Yvette, how are you?
Oh, I'm good, Nick. How are you?
Yvette, I know you brought Bill to the Shopley fam. Do you want to just kick it off and introduce Bill?
Yeah, I was really excited that Bill was considering coming on Shopley. We have a small resort up in Northern Ontario on the waterfront, but we actually have a fuel station. And we have a lot of snowmobilers that come in. So we were looking for something environmental to clean up some of the spills that those snowmobilers do. And that's how we found Bill and his Petro Buster. But I was really excited with his Wine Buster. I don't know if you can see this. This is one of my favorite shirts. It was covered in cooking grease and fuel and working around the property with wood, like, you know, sap off of wood because we've got campsites and stuff like that. It was just 5 years of grime. And so when he told me about the Wine Buster, I put it on the shirt and it looked brand new. So I'm just super excited to have Bill have his products available because they are so environmental and they work amazing.
Wow. Thank you, Yvette. Good evening, everyone. My name's Bill Fligg, and I'm the president of PetroBuster. So I've got a few minutes here, and I do have my timer on. Let me know if my internet connection can be a little spotty. So if I start to get delayed a bit, I'll just turn off my camera. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to zip through a PowerPoint quite quickly, just to get some information across. Bear with me. I just want to move this bar out of my way here. Sorry about that. All right. So can you see my PowerPoint okay there?
Good to go.
Right on. So basically what I want to just get across is Wine Buster equals PetroBuster. So this is a story of a formula that has so many uses that it became impossible to market it for everything that it can do. It really is an unusual and interesting story behind it. So the foundation of it all is PetroBuster. And so when I speak about PetroBuster, I'll be speaking about the same product technically as Wine Buster, just rebranded for focusing on different applications. So as we take a quick look here, one of the things, so as a Canadian, so we're Canadian. It is formulated for us in the US though. And actually we ship probably, well, over 50% of our product probably goes into the US. We do ship to Europe in various areas around the globe. One of the more interesting things recently is that our Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks approved PetroBuster to be used in the Algonquin Forest, which is a very pristine crown forest, one of our most prestigious forests in Canada. And so the loggers in there can't go in and can't manage and log the forest, and they have big contracts without having something to clean up spills like oil leaks, petroleum, and all of that, because it's quite bad for the environment. So they had to look at our ingredients and actually review it all to verify that it was quite safe and not harmful to the environment. So that was a huge thing to get in writing, giving authority to the Algonquin Forest Authority. From there, actually, we ended up speaking. We were invited to speak to Canadian Central Canada foresters at Science North in Sudbury in October, and they were all, well, actually, there was a number of them from around North America, and now a good number of them are actually buying, some of them even because our product is a great degreaser, they are going to replace their solvents in their sawmills because they're huge fire hazards in the forest as well. So not only a remediation product, but also a very effective degreaser. And actually, you'll see it's cheaper too than what they're using today. So that's forest. Now from there, also the roads people, they have to clean and worry about spills in the roads and such. And again, I was a speaker at one of the Road Supervisors Association in our region, and that led to some slides and such around the use of cleaning up spills on the road in asphalt. And it actually removes the stains too. So that's why a lot of homeowners buy it, because it actually takes the oil stains out of the concrete and the asphalt. So they're not as concerned about the environmental aspect, but they don't like the stains. And so that's been a huge market for us. So you can deal with it on a small scale, small stains, or we have people that have bought brownfield polluted old gas stations that they got cheap, and they ended up buying skids of our product and remediated the soil. So what it does is it makes the petroleum water soluble, and there's natural bacteria in it that naturally degrades the hydrocarbons. It consumes it. And in the end, they can get a positive lab test back that gives them the approvals they need that the site's fully remediated for a lot less than for other options that are on the market today. So as a quick story, as a petroleum manager, so I managed a petroleum company in Ontario. So I'm from Ontario, Canada. So I managed this company. I was there 15 years. I found this formula that was developed approximately 35 years ago to satisfy an EPA action for a railway company in the US that had oil in the ballast water. So this formula is made for us by a very large multi-billion-dollar global biologic company, and they used all natural ingredients and bacteria to take care of this. And from there, it just Formula X until I came across it. From there, the formula itself makes petroleum water soluble, and it degrades and consumes the hydrocarbons. So basically, with this slide here, you can pour mass volumes of it into the ground and it will literally remediate soil. So people with heating oil spills, it'll kill the smell immediately on contact. So if somebody had heating oil leak in their house, and some people have that happen, they have to move out because it's diesel fuel. As soon as they treat it with our product, the smell's gone immediately and they move back in, no problem. And if they have to have environmental testing done, say it's in soil or what have you, they have no problem getting their tests. So basically, when I found this formula, I did some testing with it when I was with the petroleum company, and I was quite amazed at all that it could do. We brought it out at the time as Micro 50 through the petroleum company that I worked for. But unfortunately, at that time, people couldn't get their head around it. And the owner of the company, I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, he didn't see the profit he was hoping for, although we sold pretty close to $500,000 worth in the first couple of years. Just nobody knew really how to apply it. So that ended. And I left that company in 2014. And then in 2015, the Canadian Oil Heat Association and an engineer had asked me to bring it back to market. So I created PetroBuster and I partnered with the engineer. From there, actually, Canadian Oil Heat Association flew me out to Halifax to be guest speaker on how to keep oil heat clean. That's a huge problem, actually. Anybody that's been around oil heat, it's a great heat source, but it's a big problem having diesel fuel around your house. But it can be managed, and that's why our product was so successful with that. From there, and I bought out my partners, so then there just wasn't enough room really to share margins in a small company, and so I bought them out, which worked out really well. So our product has 4 different strains of natural occurring microbes or bacteria. One of them particularly you can find in the human body. Another one promotes plant growth. So they're all very natural. They're not harmful to us. They're just very safe, but very effective at breaking down hydrocarbons and petroleum. So basically, these bacteria and emit enzymes as they're doing their job, and so it's a sort of a microbial enzyme mix. The thing that does the emulsification, and this is also, I think, very relative to the red wine and the stains and fabrics and things, is the fact our product makes petroleum water soluble, but it does that because it emulsifies it, like emulsifiers in the kitchen that cause oil and water to blend instead of resist each other. So there's an alcohol in it that comes from coconut. And it's an all-natural, totally safe for the environment, actually very sustainable source, which is quite great, but it's a really effective emulsifier. And the other is citric acid that's in there. It's very good at emulsifying and breaking down grease and such. So those are the core ingredients. So the summary on that is there's 4 different kinds of bacteria that emit enzymes, and it's coconut derived with citrus extracts. So this is an example right here. So we had somebody that had delivered building supplies to a house, and the hydraulic line leaked all over the road and the driveway, and the homeowner didn't want to pay to clean the road. So we had the contractor use our product on the driveway, and I know the guy that did this, and I know he didn't put much effort in. So put it down, give it a scrub, wash it away on concrete, put it down, leave it, and it'll totally dry out that stain. Asphalt, you just put it down, scrub, rinse, put it down, scrub, rinse. Usually it makes the tar look more brand new for about a week, and then the sun beats it down and you can't tell where that was. It just totally gets rid of it. Fuel spills on water, it's used heavily in the marina industry. If you have a fuel spill from a boat or any other thing on the water, you give it a little spray and it takes care of that immediately. Doesn't drop it to the bottom either, which is really important. It keeps it at the surface, and that way it doesn't hurt the aquatic life, and does a fantastic job on water. If you're just, so when we referred to the military, one of the largest contractors, well, they are the largest contractors for the U.S. military, General Dynamics. So they ended up buying a couple skids because there was a 20,000 square foot, 100-year-old tool and die building that was purchased to be repurposed for manufacturing things that the military needed, and they needed to get 100 years worth of cutting oil out of that floor. So that's not the floor there. That's me doing another floor, but that's what they used it for, and it was quite successful. Degreasing, you can take solvents out of the parts cleaner and put our product in, and no more flammable. Actually, degreasing in a shop is toxic. People are using brake spray solvents, and they're breathing the fumes. The regs are flammable. They got to go into a steel bin to protect the place from burning down. And they can literally throw all that out. You use our product in there to degrease all the parts and equipment. And now the rags can be washed, and the solution in the parts cleaner can go in the floor drain that goes into the oil water separator. It'll just clean it. And our product's cheaper than the solvents. It's used to clean trucks and equipment. People leach fuel off their equipment and their vehicles every day in the same place. And I know I have case studies where people have actually failed environmental studies, equipment rental company, because they leach petroleum into the same spot every day and polluted their land. So if they use our product to clean, they're constantly remediating their property. I did this one myself. This is a fuel nozzle guard. They're nice and new yellow. Diesel impregnates itself into the plastic here. I don't know why, but it literally pulls impregnated stains out of almost anything. It'll pull it out of vinyl tiles. It'll pull it out of painted walls. Just a light brushing. It pulled indelible ink out of an oak tabletop without harming the actual tabletop. But it made this fuel nozzle look brand new. So again, heating spills in houses, it works great. So this is where we get into the wine buster. I started using it on clothing, and one day we had a red wine stain, and I went, oh, this stuff's really, really effective. What else can I do with it? So we put it on the carpet that we could never get the red stain out of, and it took it out immediately. So we started working with it. My barber, he's an Italian guy, and he's got a cantina full of the Demigianas full of wine, and his father had spilled a bunch in his concrete floor. Nothing would take it out. As soon as you put Petrobuster on it, neutralized it, gone. Does the same with blood. It does it with blueberries. Does it with grease. It'll take all of that grease out of that workwear quite quickly. Yeah, so you can use it to clean your vehicles. I think it does a great job. I put it on I have a little Simonized device. So that's the overall use. Now, if you take a look at value, so you say, okay, people are selling these little 4-ounce bottles for $27, and our 32-ounce bottle is $39.99. So when you get your head wrapped around the value on that, it's really important. When you're buying it in bulk, so again, remember, these Petrobuster pails are the same thing. One of these pails is concentrate. It makes 5x, 5 times. So you add 4 parts water to 1 part Petrobuster. This spray bottle already has, like, you get it with 7 ounces approximately of concentrate. You just top it up with water. So same idea here. So if people are buying it in this kind of bulk, it's only $17 a gallon or $4.28 a liter. That's why it's cheaper than what they're using in their shops and degreasers. It's cheaper than most cleaners. It's even being used in restaurants and grease traps. And it was approved by a city. Well, the city of Red Deer uses it in municipal water. And it was a restaurant in Red Deer, Alberta, that asked if it was okay to put it in their grease trap. And the city said, sure, we use it. And I looked it up, and sure enough, they were a customer of ours. So there's just a bunch of bullet points of like places all around North America and other parts of the globe over in Europe that we've shipped to. And I would say for the most part, that's the gist of it, other than I can pop you into our store real quickly, and not as flashy as our health fellow there has a really nice looking store. So this is sort of new. But we don't have a lot of offerings currently. I mean, these are our core products. So you've got your spray bottle at $39.99 here. And we did have somebody in our group purchase both of these because she wanted to send this one to her brother that works in the oil rigs. And this was more appropriate than, say, somebody with their house and wine. So that's our store. And I don't know what else can I tell you there, Nick. That
That's
was
good. That's good. Let's bring on, I lost her name for a second. I'm sorry. Let's
You
bring,
bet.
thank you, Matt. I lost all my pictures. Come on here real quick with us and back up anything that you saw or heard that you thought was super critical, important that you want everyone to hear. And anyone else,
Well-
hit us with some questions in the Q&A while we still got Bill.
Oh, like I said, I've been trying it out on all kinds of different fabrics because, like I said, we've used it for fuel. My son dumped a whole bunch of cooking oil in our basement by accident. Concrete floor, it cleaned that up like just lickety split. And we were slipping and sliding after he dumped that cooking oil because we do have a small
And Yvette,
restaurant.
for those of us under 46, is lickety split quick?
Yes, very quick. Sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I like to
Yeah.
play like I like to act like I'm still very young, but I'm almost 46. So
Yeah.
lickety split is indeed fast. Okay.
Yeah. And
So
my
Bill,
husband does a lot of the cooking and he gets the grease all over his belly. And he had this shirt and I'm like, you are not wearing that in public anymore. But he really, really likes it. So I took this to his shirt and it looked brand new. I took it to a leather jacket that had mold on it. It got stuck in a place that had a leak and it had mold on. It's just amazing what this stuff will clean. I think every laundry should have a bottle of this in their laundry room, and any mech shop or people that work at that, and especially spills. It protects our environment, which was really attractive to me.
Yvette jumped right in with the 20-liter pail for their first purchase. I didn't even know them. I just saw this order come in, and I wondered where this place was. And yeah,
well, now that's
Well,
about to be your top saleswoman.
yeah, absolutely.
How cool is that? Okay, I wanted to log in there real quickly, guys, so I can show you. For those of you guys that don't know, if you look down here, this is where you see commissions. So your first purchase rewards right here. $37 goes to the person who's selling it, plus another 73 going into the marketplace commissions for all of the team development that's going on there. And then you got reorder bonuses right there. So don't forget that that's where you find those on the lower part. Anything you want me to point out here, Bill, before we jump to our final vendor for tonight?
No, just on this particular product, it can be used in homes, but also it's got a high potential for business and like high consumption. If you get like companies and any organization onto this, fuel companies, you name it.
I got a question actually. So I did a real estate development where we had to remediate a large piece of land for a former steel manufacturing plant that was just abandoned, but that land needed to be resoiled and we had to do all kinds of stuff. Are you go ahead. So are you saying to me there was a world where, or is that too big of a project when you're doing?
Oh, it is that. So we have people that have bought. I had a guy in Quebec that bought a brownfield site. It was an old gas station. There was acres and acres. It was just too contaminated, the water, the soil, everything. His engineering firm had never heard of us. He bought like 3 skids probably over the course of a year. And when I called him one day, asked him if he needed any more, he basically, like Frank's, like the hot sauce, that shit works. Excuse my expression.
No, that's all right. We swear here. What's the
laugh? Yeah. And so
what's the time frame of something like that? So I'm going back in time. We spent so much money on soil I think you had to put like a foot, maybe 2, something crazy.
It was about a year, and it was down in the water column too, and it sorted out the water table as well. So we have stories like that all over. I had a guy, yeah. So
I can give you one story that happened. My husband was using a backhoe to move a propane tank, and he blew the hydraulic hose. So of course it spilt out onto the ground, and we put the Petro Buster on there, and you can't even tell where he spilt it anymore.
And that it was used on the Hoover Dam for the same purpose. Somebody blew a hydraulic line on the dam and they bought our product to clean it up. But yeah, your case there, Nick, it's used in large scale remediation. Yeah.
Nice. So I think I might have a client for you. I'll be back. So we got a question here from Cassie. Cassie didn't say where she lives, but she wants to know if she can get it by Christmas in the next 4 days. Plus the weekend.
There's a good chance if you get the order in tonight. So we're really quick at shipping. I really pride myself on that.
Okay.
I'll go out of my way to get something.
So that's a Canadian answer though. You're going to get that all the way to Vancouver from where you're at? If she was in Vancouver?
I've actually got it to California in 1 day. I've got
All
it
right.
to Hawaii in 3 days before. But I mean, everything's a variable, right? Some people are closer to delivery depots and other people are, a little ways out. So
Depending on that shipping cost, Cassie, that might just be one of those late Christmas presents you give to somebody. By the way, I love late Christmas presents because everything gets merged together when you do the one Christmas. Give me a late Christmas present and an early one. I'll remember those more.
there's a good chance they'll would get out tomorrow. So yeah.
All right. Well, Bill, Yvette, thank you so much. Bill, I'm serious. I'm calling my real estate partner later. We're going to talk about this.
Oh yeah, no,
I'm trying to knock out some pallets for you. He's doing a large former factory right now, which is 3-4 times the size of the one we did.
right on. We're fully trademarked in the United States and Canada as well, so we've taken this all the way. Yeah.
All
And
right.
you're shipping it to the UK too as well, aren't you, Bill?
Yeah, Europe and UK in there. Yeah.
Let's do it. Well, guys, I got to jump for this one. I got to move to our final vendor. Thank you, Bill. Thank you,
Thank you,
Yvette.
everyone. Good night.
And we are going to bring on Bennifer. Bennifer, I stopped your video earlier. Let me see if I can figure out how to get your video back on. Maybe if I make you a co-host, see what happens there. There she is. Okay, let me add her back with a pin. Bennifer, how are you?
I'm great. I can't see myself, but I can see you.
Well, I can see you. We can all see you.
Well, how do I look?
You
Well,
can't
it's
see-
all about. Thank
If
you.
you look at the top of your screen, you might be able to toggle between presenter and stuff like, maybe not, but we can definitely see you. You look fabulous. right, so-
Thank you.
So let's shift gears here. I got this one at the last minute, so forgive me with my knowledge base here. Usually I got a little bit more time to prep, but my understanding is we have a high-end luxury jeweler, which is Scott Rogers Design. I hope I said that correctly because
Yep.
I'm jumping over. Do you want me to show the site before or after, or are you going to show it?
No, you're going to show it because
I'm
I'm
gonna show-
at the shop, which is great.
Okay.
Yeah, so you go for
Okay.
it. And if you have any questions, just interrupt me too in the middle. Is this a slightly different product? Happy to take questions or just show people around. And I've got a few jewelry pieces here. So I'll just be quite quick and swift and it'll be quite beautiful.
You take the way. I'll show the shop at the end, unless you
Okay.
think it's valuable for me to show it now from a visual perspective of the jewelry. Over to you. You got the lead. We see you. You take it away.
Awesome. So we're based in Australia and did a launch last night, and it was beautiful because we're on the other end of the spectrum with the jewelry trade. It's highly unique, our product, and the reason why it's unique is because we hand make it. Which is on site. And Scott's a gemologist, which means that he studies gems, and he's been doing this since he was 9, and then it became a career. It's a 40-year trade for him, and we are not a general jewelry shop. What we do is we specialize with colored gems, and he was one of the pioneers with this because he started. He had an intuition about colored gems that they would be highly valuable because they're not mass produced like diamonds. So even though his expertise was in diamonds when he started initially when he was 18, he started working with colored gems, and that's our specialty. That's what makes our products quite unique. And that's where we've had a clientele for 40 years. The only good thing is that colored stones has now become quite popular, so people do understand and are slightly more educated on that front. We work with sapphires, we do we do diamonds, but we're not specializing in it. So in our collection pieces, we do work with sapphires, emeralds, rubies, and a lot of pieces that I'll just quickly show you. Am I still on?
You are indeed still on.
Okay, so just an example of the piece is, here's a little ring that we made, and this is unique only because of the colored gems. Just to give you a little information on how this process works is, they're all unique, so no one else is going to have this piece. So once it's made and finished, they're limited edition, one of a kind, and I cannot stress on the fact that it's truly one of a kind. It takes us probably 6 months, 3 months, and sometimes even a year to source gems. They're sourced from the country of origin, so all these are from Sri Lanka. We've got our suppliers who are small artisans. We've had a relationship with them. It feeds their family. So the ethical part of our business is at the forefront of everything we do. We live our lives that way. We are in the Byron hinterland, so they are very known for a sustainable way of living. So all aspects of, we only use recycled gold. We work with 18-karat gold because that's what's available in Australia. It's a slightly difficult metal to work with in fine jewelry, and platinum, but it's longer lasting. So all these pieces are heirloom pieces. So we go from extremely dressy but simple designs. That's what Scott's all about. He's very simple. And the reason why he's simple is because we want our jewelry to be wearable. We just don't want it to be a piece just for the sake of piece. And all our clients,
Bennifer, that last one
Then-
we couldn't see was off frame. If you want to show that necklace again, put it like right in front of you, because that's still off frame. There you go. That's on frame. There you go. You're using a cell phone, correct?
yes.
Okay, so you remember your frame is much thinner, so that we can definitely.
Okay. Can
Good
you
work.
see that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, a little higher, higher. There you go, right there. We can see that.
It's a beautiful pearl, Australian, beautiful sapphire, pink sapphire from Sri Lanka. You'd be looking at price points all around, I would say, from 5,000 US to 10,000 would be our entry level products, and then they go higher. So a lot of for the affiliates, it's a beautiful structure. 10% we give on stuff like cocktail rings, and this is on our website. We are a little slow with uploading jewelry, and imaginably, because they're all handmade. We've got our own setters, we've got our own team. It's all in-house. It's like a Bulgari, but not mass produced. The gems are sourced. The big companies can't do this because we are a smaller boutique shop in a way. We've got the opportunity and the gift to really hand select gems, which is what we do, and put it into beautiful pieces. Our collection of pieces is super wearable. That's a sapphire again. It's like an engagement ring. It could be even for someone who wants to buy something for their wives because it's a special occasion, didn't get married, didn't have the money at that time. Now you could upgrade it. And then we go into a highly luxury luxe product range, and that's for the collectors of colored gems. That's it. Beautiful. So that's a beautiful aquamarine. I think the origin is Madagascar. We generally have all the details if anyone's interested and the story of the pieces. And that's a beautiful tourmaline. Again, they're just beautiful. I do love my own jewelry. Thank God for that. I'm not a jewelry person. I'm not a jewelry person, but I love, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of inspiration. I'm an art director. I've always been in the industry of beauty, and art. And I'm really honored to be on a platform where I can promote and educate people on less is more. So
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely
yeah, go for it.
obviously one piece, just stunning pieces, no doubt about that. So let's first of all, I'll tour your store here real quick. Anybody that has any questions, go ahead and put the questions in the Q&A. So let's do a little tour here. Anything you want to lead me to or tell me to click on or anything you want me to share, let me know.
So the red coloring, yeah. So beautiful garnet. So this is exactly handmade, high quality, specially cut diamonds. There is no other piece. So when I say that, I actually mean it, because colored gems cannot be replicated. So when they are sourced, you cannot have two same colored gems. With diamonds, they're calibrated. Big companies calibrate gems. That means because they're doing designs in mass production, we're hand making our pieces each time. So most of these pieces you see, they won't be repeated. You will see a significant synchronicity with the designs because it is the designer, which is Scott and myself, but each time the piece is different and hence it resonates at a slightly more energetic level. So we call them talismans because they become so unique and personal to the person.
Well, these are all absolutely gorgeous. So I'm thrilled that you are a part of Shopley and last minute hopping on here. Thank you for that. What are your closing thoughts? Any closing thoughts from anything that you want to share before we jump to actually before we wrap up for tonight?
The closing thoughts would be to understand the hard work that goes behind beautiful stuff. The integrity of the process is 100% from our end. This is our little shop, and we've always loved to be global. So I'm so excited to have some global presence because we love America, by the way. You know how the Aussies are. We just want the Americans. We've shipped a lot of our products to America over a period of time, but I just feel like they love what they see. They're so much more art-based and open-minded. And for Scott and I, we've always wanted a global market. I'm just saying America, but anything outside of Australia would be amazing for us too. So I'm really excited, and thank you.
Let's get you some sales. Let's get you some sales.
Yay.
So Jennifer, before you go and before we lose Bill as well, I know Chris already knows this. If you guys have not we have a Telegram thread for vendors now. I don't know if you're on it or not, but we got to get you on it. If you guys have not submitted your welcome to Shopley video, it's kind of like a 60, 90-second video. Hey guys, happy to be a part of Shopley. Here's who we are. Here's what we do. Please submit that so we can get that out to everybody in the Telegram thread as well.
Perfect.
Don't overthink it. It's
to
super casual. It's not going to go out to customers. It's only going to go out to our affiliates and salespeople.
Awesome.
Guys, we had 3 great vendors tonight. Thank you to You're Worth It. Thank you to Scott Rogers Design. Thank you to Bill. This was an awesome, awesome call tonight. I appreciate everybody. Have a great, great holiday, guys, if I don't talk to you before. And man, big Christmas week coming up. Buy some presents from Shopley, y'all. Let's do this.